Good afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for being here this afternoon, despite being a holiday. Well, for us, it was not a holiday because we were all doing Shramdan today, cleaning up and reading out our files. So we have a full working day, unlike some of you. But that said, I'd like to make one announcement, and that relates to the situation in Iraq. Following which I will answer any questions that you would like to know about those issues. After that, I'm open to answering any other questions that you may want to ask. As regards the situation in Iraq, we have now moved to what we term as the next phase in our assistance to Indian nationals. And that is, we term this phase as the facilitation phase. In this phase, we have today opened up 3 camp offices in Basra, in Najaf, and in Karbala. These camp offices are being staffed by our officials who've been specially flown into Iraq. The offices will not be functioning from one place, but actually they will be anytime there's a request, they will go to the Indian national or to the organization that he or she is working in. The idea being that they would be mobile, they would be willing to go across and meet any Indians because we've heard different stories coming out in terms of anecdotal evidence. And we now stand ready to assist all our nationals in their places of work. This team, we will put out the mobile numbers of each of these. Each of these cities will have 3 officials specifically designated to work with Indian nationals. In addition, in a couple of days, we will double this strength. So you will have adequate numbers attending to all requests for assistance of any sort. And in this phase, the assistance will include not only going and meeting the Indian nationals in the places they work, but also providing them travel documents if any of them have a problem with travel documents, resolving issues of a contractual nature by interceding with their sponsors, and for those who are indigent and not able to afford air tickets will be provided. These are for Indian nationals all over Iraq. There will not be any restriction for any place or any part of Iraq should any Indian national want to return home. We will then have an idea of what the ground level realities in different parts of Iraq are, and we will accordingly adjust and work out a strategy to assist them in the best manner possible. I will provide you the telephone numbers now, and I would request you to disseminate them as broadly as possible so that no person is, no person has a grouse or is unable to be accessed due to want of information. The numbers starting in Najaf are 00964 771 6511190. This is of Mr. Abu Mathan George. The next, pardon, let me repeat it. Mr. Abu Mathan George, 00964 771 6511190. 11190. My apologies if I got it wrong. The next number is of Mr. Srinivas Rao, 00964 771 6511181. This is also in Najaf. The third number in Najaf is Mr. Rakesh Singh, 00964 771 651179. All three officials are already in Najaf. When we last spoke to them, they were already working out with different companies where they had received requests. For your information, on our last count, we had received calls from 421 telephone calls, and we will address each one of them according to their requests. The numbers in Karbala are Mr. Anil Sapra, 00964 771 65 11180. Another number in Karbala, Mr. Jeevan Singh, 00964 771 65 11176. This is Mr. Jeevan Singh. In addition, already our team for Basra is on the way to Basra. Basra is approximately 500 kilometers from Baghdad. They left this morning. These two teams in Najaf and Karbala are already in place and they are working there. Our team in Basra should be reaching there in the next half an hour or so. I will in any case give you the numbers and the names of the persons because they are available on the mobile right away. Mr. Narsimha Murthy, his number is 00964 771 65 11182. And the last number I have also for Basra is Mr. Asif Shah Ahmed. His number is 00964 771 65 11178. Also, each of them, we will have control rooms in each of these cities where in case people are not able to contact by phone, they can also send in emails with the details, and our officials will go to the places of work or places of stay, talk to their sponsors, talk to them, talk to their sponsors, work out what they would want, and then take the next step in this regard. The last name is Mr. Asif Shah Ahmed. His number is 00964 771 65 11178. These 7 numbers are operational. We will provide 2 more numbers which will be operational in the next few hours. And then in the next 48 to 72 hours, we expect to double the numbers of officials who will be available in a roving capacity to assist any Indian national for each of these things. A, in case they have any problem with travel documentation, in case they have any problem with contractual obligations if they have to move out, and finally, in case they have any problem with buying with acquisition of air tickets. I think what I'll do is I will stop here and will respond to any questions that you may like to ask on this matter. And after that, I will be willing to respond to anything else. Yes, Srinjoy. Correct. Let me repeat. In Karbala, there is one more name, Mr. Anil Sapra. His number is 00964 771 65 11180. Yeah, I think all of you have got the numbers, and I'm willing to answer any and every question. Let's take it one by one. Ashish, just a minute. He'll bring the microphone.
Sir, could you please tell us what is the progress about the rescue efforts of those 39 captive Indians? How far have we moved? Is there positive? Is there any worry about them? Kindly.
Ashish, those captive Indians remain in captivity. Yet, we have additional information received today that they remain unharmed, and there are some leads provided. We are working on them. But please understand, this is a conflict situation. There is no certainty in where we proceed from here. Therefore, we are extremely careful in taking this step by step. But what we can tell you is they remain unharmed, they remain in captivity, and we have some leads about them. Yes. Manish? And these are in additional to what we have got previously.
Akbar, have we sought any assistance from India's external partners, any other country, over the hostage situation, or we have been proactively in touch over the Iraq situation in general?
Manish, I think I mentioned very graphically what we are doing. And let me repeat it to you again. We are knocking on all doors. Those are front doors, back doors, and trap doors. Let me also add, tomorrow, the External Affairs Minister has called in all our ambassadors from the Gulf. They will provide their inputs. In addition, as part of an interactive session, the ambassadors of some of those countries located here will also join our ambassadors so that we can take this matter forward in terms of what assistance we may require from all of them based on the morning session where we have a brainstorming with our ambassadors. It would be followed with a sort of an interactive luncheon meeting where we have called and requested ambassadors of other countries from where our ambassadors coming to join in so that we can seek their assistance on specific issues. Yes. Ranjit, I'll answer.
Any evacuation plan is also ready to bring all Indians from Iraq?
Let me tell you that this is a national endeavor, and therefore it is normal for all our national assets to be in readiness. As and when they are required, it is normal contingency planning on a regular basis that this is done. I am not a logistics specialist to tell you details of these because this is a specialized type of skill, which unfortunately I am not privy to. But that said, we do not see any possibility of any national asset not being available should it be required. And that's what is perhaps percolating into the public space in all forms, and that you may be jumping the gun in these, but let me tell you, this is a national endeavor, and all national assets will be in readiness should they be required to assist our nationals who are in difficult circumstances in Iraq. Yes, one by one. Up, please. Bring. Yes.
There are reports that a warship has also been sent to Iraq for evacuation. So what was the need to send a ship and that to a warship?
You are asking me, I already told you, I am not a logistics expert. So I will not get into the specifics of logistical issues. I explained that should any national asset be required, there is contingency planning being worked out to deploy them should it be required. At this stage, I told you what we are doing. We are doing on the ground what is required as a basic exercise. Everything else is some way down. At this stage, we are contacting our nationals, asking them if they require assistance, if they have concerns and fears, because please understand, the overwhelming majority of our nationals are in what is today a safe zone. But there are concerns, and therefore it is our duty as government officials to try and assuage those concerns. If those concerns are assuaged by a logistical step, well and good. If they are assuaged by a multiple logistical steps, those will also be taken. Yes. Nilova.
Akbar, could you please outline which ambassadors are being called in and which countries, ambassadors from which countries exactly are coming in?
All the Gulf states. Let me start by Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia. Yes, Dr. Akhilesh Suman.
Sir, India had been very close relationship with Iraq, and now diplomatically there must be some effort with Iraq so that situation can be controlled. Some people are asking that Prime Minister should resign and new Prime Minister should be in place in Iraq to defuse the situation. What step India is taking so that the politically we can intervene there in Iraq and a solution might be taken up?
Dr. Akhilesh Suman, you are a fairly long following commentator in terms of Indian foreign policy. You also know in matters of internal, in matters which are essentially of a domestic nature, you know our views. There is already a process that has been set in motion domestically in Iraq. Let us allow that process to reach its normal conclusion or culmination. There are efforts by various people within Iraq to push the process in a variety of ways. As a well-wisher and a friend of Iraq, like you said, we hope that Iraq will come to a conclusion which will ensure peace and stability in the region. Yes, sir.
So now already almost 2 weeks over, already allegations rise that the government of India is failed in handling the situation. There are those who are making allegations. They are asking that apart from the daily press conference, what concrete steps you have been taken to evacuate the people of India, especially 46 nurses from Kerala are in Tikrit. There are reports that there was a blast inside the hospital yesterday.
Let me tell you, I think it's very easy to make allegations, very difficult to work on the ground. We have demonstrated that we are on the ground. We have added additional people on the ground, and we will remain on the ground, number one. Number two, you are aware, and some of you are not aware also, the number of Indians wanting voluntarily to return is an ongoing thing. Let me give you an example. Just yesterday, there were 20 Indian nationals from the state of Gujarat who wanted to come back and have returned. They were in the what we term as the safe areas. And we have repeatedly said that there are no restrictions for anyone in the safe areas to return. There have been people from different parts. Every day we read stories of people coming in small numbers back to India voluntarily. We are facilitating those voluntary returns. From the conflict zone, I have previously explained to you the number of people who we've been able to rescue and bring back to India. The most recent was 17 from Samara. Samara is in a conflict zone. They were working in a Vatsila plant, from where 17 Indian nationals were rescued, evacuated, and returned to India. We are not providing those graphic details to you. Doesn't mean to say that we are not at work. Let me put another thing for your consideration. Those in the conflict zone you referred to are 46 nurses. We are well aware of that. In fact, just half an hour ago, our ambassador did contact them. They are, you're right, worried because there has been a fresh bout of fighting in Tikrit. However, there have not been any explosions in their compound. We can confirm to you there were no explosions in their compound. They were in a university complex which is some distance away, and it's just those noises that they heard. In conflict zones, missions can only do what is possible because we don't control the terrain there. The terrain is difficult for us to move them out. However, in the case of Samara, we had used helicopters to airlift 17 Indians out of a difficult situation. Where it is possible, we are doing all our best. Let me assure you, despite your misgivings, we will continue to do our best and hope that we will succeed in what I mentioned to you is a national endeavor. So let's all be united in this. We have Indian nationals there from different states. Let's work towards helping them out rather than pointing accusing fingers. Yes, Srinjoy. Just wait for the mic.
How many Indians still in the conflict zone?
I would think, nobody can give you a head count of great accuracy. That said, we feel that the numbers would be in the vicinity of about 100. Less than 100. Yeah, about 100. It could be 102, it could be 98. I'm just giving you a ballpark figure based on numbers that we have. It's not that we have 100% numbers with us. There may be individuals, etc., but the numbers remain extremely small. In the non-conflict areas, where we are now addressing through these three places, for example, I said Najaf, Karbala, Basra, and Baghdad. These are all non-conflict areas. Our understanding is the numbers would be 10,000. So the overwhelming number of people who are currently we are assisting are those also who are in the non-conflict areas. And this is as a preemptive measure where conflict has not yet even crept in. If any of you have any questions on other than these, I will answer. Yes, just Nas.
Today there were some media reports that there was a fresh intrusion of Chinese troops in the Ladakh region.
Yes, so?
So, and those sources were quoting South Bloc sources.
So what's your question to me?
So just we want to know what is the situation.
I think I have explained to you previously, we are confident that our valiant and brave sentinels of the border will be able to provide an appropriate response should any incident occur on the border. Yes, ma'am. Geeta?
There's a news report which suggests that China in its latest map has included all the disputed territory as its own, including a lot in the South China Sea, but also Arunachal Pradesh. What's India's reaction, sir?
Geeta, cartographic depiction does not change the reality on the ground. The fact that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India has been clearly conveyed to the Chinese authorities on several occasions, including at the very highest level. You finish your chance. Anyone else? Yes, Amrita. No. Chance is finished. Choose your question properly.
Just to follow up on that, is it likely that that's going to come up during the visit of the Vice President and the delegation there in China?
It is our normal practice that we raise all issues of concern during discussions. Yes.
Yeah, there is a question. Already Geeta has asked this question that China published some part of Kashmir and some part of Arunachal Pradesh, and you also conveyed your displeasure to the Chinese authority.
I did not say that. I have said what I have said. It's available on the record. Please don't summarize me. It's available. What I said is available, but you ask your question.
Sir, so is there any communication from China regarding this?
On what?
This map.
No,
map
we
kind of
haven't
thing.
had any communication on that. Well, if there are no further questions, thank you very much for being here this afternoon. Thank you.